Hello, welcome to Money Markets and Motivation with Mike. Uh, Brought to you for information and educational purposes only. It's your responsibility to do your own due diligence. And our word of the day is Sangfroid. Sangfroid, composure or coolness, sometimes excessive, is shown in danger under trying circumstances. Brad displayed remarkable sang-froid as he sized up his options. So that's our word of the day. On to our heat map. Our heat map is a little bit of a mixed picture. Some of the semiconductors are reversing after China has come out with some trade tension this morning. Consumer defensive, Walmart is up pretty big today. Uh, T-Mobile, Verizon are moving along with Comcast and AT&T in the communication services, real estate, utilities, basic materials are bouncing, and some of the Wells Fargo is actually up 6.7% today as they release their earnings, which are up 22%. American Express, um, and I forgot some of these. Capital One, I was looking at SYF, what that symbol stood for. Synchrony Financial is up as well. So that is kind of the story there. Now we're moving over to crypto, which took a big hit again. I guess with the China trade issues have hit these cryptos and they're selling off big time again. It is like a yo-yo. So that is the story there. Now we go to our little commercial of the day. We think this is important to share. At least of part of your portfolio, it would be a good place to put it in case the market does sell off. If you're getting close to retirement, it goes up when the market goes up, does not go down when the market goes down. And it beats index investing by about 5% per year. So there you have it. Don't let what happened in 2008 happen to your portfolio when everything went down 54% or more. And this is a great way to preserve and protect your portfolio. So now we'll go over to our charts. Here we go. We'll start out, we're going to look at, I believe, CrowdStrike, and then we'll move over to our indexes. I'm going to pause for a second. Our charts, oh, there it popped up. So this is chart of Wells Fargo. Big bounce off of the 50-day moving average. Huge volume here, 22% increase in earnings. So that is where Wells Fargo sits. And this is CrowdStrike. It is pulling back to the 20-day moving average. It had been getting close to the pivot zone here. This is a cup with a handle. So 507.30 would be the buy point. We have pretty low volume on the selling here. So I'll just continue to watch that. Let us move over to our indexes. Here's the NASDAQ, initially sold off, and it is getting back to the 20-day moving average. The equal weight in the NASDAQ. I'm going to turn some light on here so you can see me a little better. And this is up 0.28% to the S&P 500. Everything initially sold off with that China news and then bounced back. ETF with Spider is close to where it closed yesterday. And we move over to the RSP. And the RSP is bouncing a little stronger, up 0.85%, gets to its 20-day moving average, fell below its 50, and now it gets above its 20. On to our small capitalization stocks, the Russell 2000 bounces 1.5%, and the Dow Jones bounces off the 50-day, gets back to its 20, up 0.45%. Now we move over to the VIX. The VIX did bounce, sold off a little bit here. The fear index up 4.18% today. And on to our 10-year treasury, which is dropping like it's fallen off of a building. We had a gap down here, then it kind of held yesterday because the markets were closed, and it is continuing its descent right here, off 0.72%. Now we go over to the 20-year. It's falling not as heavily, off 0.58%, with the yield at 3.25. And let us go over to the bonds. Bonds are up in price today, $908 and almost $909 a bond. And that means the interest rates are falling. So now let us move over to our sub-indexes. Here's the financials. They're moving up a little over 1% today. See what KWB is doing. It's up almost 2%. Energy, still below the 200-day, but it is sold off initially, and then it's basically where it was yesterday. Communications, up 0.6%. Here is aerospace, up 0.73% today. Nuclear, up 2.9% today. Oklo, it's up 133% since I bought it on the breakout over here. And go over to aerospace, Rocket Lab is up 3.45%. We bought it right about here in the pivot zone. So it is trending well as well. Take a look at, we did add to app today, holding pretty strong there. And take a look at Bros. It is up again today, up 1.28%. American Semiconductor really took off today, up 6.63%. And I think that's all we'll look at our portfolio at the moment. We'll get back to our indexes. Utilities, up 0.86%. Consumer discretionary, up 0.21%. Tesla, holding steady. Amazon is falling once again. On to real estate. Real estate is up almost 1%. Home builders up even stronger, up 3.14%. On to biotech. Biotech is pretty flat for the day. Our other biotech ETF is actually up 0.28%. On to software. It's pulling back almost 1% today. On to technology. It's down 1.3% today. Infrastructure, a little bit of a bounce, up 1.36%, solidly in the pivot zone. On to semiconductors, should be down with a big sell-off in Broadcom and NVIDIA. Let me go back to, I'm going to just take a peek at the heat map as here we finally got the change over to semiconductors off nearly 2%. NVIDIA is down 4.4 and Broadcom is down 3.5. Intel is down 4.3 and Micron is down 3%. So there we have that little news. On to airlines. Airlines gets a nice jump here, a little over 3%. And on to industrials. Industrials gets a bounce, up 1.17%. Healthcare, get a little bit of bounce, up 0.27%. Looks like ABAT is up 1.45%. And the big gainer in healthcare is a medical device company, ZBH. Had a big sell-off here, so it's working on a double bottom base. So we'll see if it can clear this area right here. This would be the buy point. Looks like the relative strength line is moving up. So it's something you could keep on your watch list. Nothing to do at the moment. On to consumer staples. That's not always a good sign when you see consumer staples rising. It is up 1.6%. It's more of a place of safety when the market isn't doing well. And this is building materials, up 1% today, bouncing off of the 200-day moving average. Metals and mining just keeps on soaring, up 0.79% today. To uranium, and it is up 2.65%. CCJ, I know, had a lot of volume moving into it today, 2 days in a row, up 1.12%. And Denison Mines, look at that, up 3.9%. So that is the story with the indexes. Now let's go take a look where the big money is flowing. Let's adjust our screen here. Interesting, American Battery Technology is getting a lot of buying interest. Shoots above 10 to 1133. 2 days in a row, it's up more than 20%. That is simply amazing. Critical metals. Number 2, look at all that massive moves in their stock price, up nearly 29% today. Lithium Americas gets up to 10, is up 20% today. A lot of these rare earth minerals are really moving with what's going on in China. So if they can find it locally, it will be a great thing for the country. On to United States antimony. That's up 4.25% today. Energy fuels in the uranium area is up more than 10%. TeraWolf mines Bitcoin. They clear $15, up a little over 10%. None of these really look attractive. Possibly Peabody Energy rallying off a shelf pattern here. Up 4.34%. Fluence Energy. Another shelf pattern up here. Up 16% today. Move down this so we can take a look at the volume. Highest volume since the base. And Navitas. Oh, I missed MP Materials, which the government has taken a stake in. Gets into the profit zone here. Look at this big gap up over here. These institutional ants taking a position. Does pull back for a little bit. Creates a cup pattern. And it is once again on the march. I'm going to move over to see if we can find some good chart patterns here. So these are breaking out today. Oatster, developer of LiDAR sensors, perception tools, just hit new high on the relative strength, up 16% today. Big bounce off of the 50-day moving average. And DigitalOcean tries to break out into the pivot zone and then pulls back, up 2.35%. This has a pretty long base, going all the way back to can't really see what the date on that is. All the way back to February. It's where this started this base. Looks like a cup with a handle. I'm going to take a phone call here and pause for just a moment. So taking a look at some items that are near a breakout. I think this one has a cash offer, so I wouldn't recommend it. Cash offer to buy the business. This is Indivior, develops a branded buprenorphine based prescription drugs. So it is getting pretty close to the pivot here. Pretty good volume today. Earnings for next year are supposed to be up 18%. MYR Group, also getting close to the pivot, provides transmission distribution services for electric utilities. Earnings are supposed to be up 275% this year and another 19% the following year. Eastern Bank shares working on the right side of its base. Looks like a cup pattern. Could turn into a cup with a handle here. We'll just see if it can. I guess $19.26 would be the true buy point. I think if it does clear this area, it could be an early buy point. This is Granite Construction. Did sell off a little bit today and is getting, I guess, slightly ahead, up 66 cents on the day. And finally, we have Apple Computer. Looks like a pretty good cup with handle formation right here. Here's the handle. Now we'll just see if can shoot up here to the pivot. We do have this in our portfolio, just to be fair and honest. We have it in this version of Apple. It goes up twice the amount of what Apple goes up. It's an ETF investment that it tries to get 200% of the daily percentage change in the common stock of Apple. So that is where we will end our chart reading for the day. And now we're going to head over to our quote of the day. As our quote of the day comes up, it comes from author James Joyce, Irish novelist best known for Ulysses. People trample over flowers, yet only to embrace a cactus. So there are a couple of humorous quotes to start the week. Happy Taco Tuesday to everybody out there. Go out and support your favorite taco truck. If you can help somebody in need, please do so. Let's create a better environment for all of us to live. This has been this has been Money, Market, and Motivation with Mike. Everybody have a great day.